Even though Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark end up together by the end of the Hunger Games, it's not entirely clear how she truly feels about him. Katniss, Jennifer Lawrence, was caught in a love triangle throughout the Hunger Games saga, being presented with the choice between Peeta, Josh Hutcherson, and her childhood friend, Gale Hawthorne, Liam Hemsworth. Though the movies emphasized the romantic dynamic threaded between these three The Hunger Games characters more prominently than the novels by Suzanne Collins, the choices Katniss makes regarding her feelings for both young men reveal a lot about who she is and what she's been through. Having Katniss end up with Peeta in the end makes sense, considering their shared trauma, but their relationship overall is much more complex and layered than that. Gale represented everything that Katniss was trying to get away from following her harrowing time in the Hunger Games arena. He wanted to march on the Capitol and take down the system. While Katniss understood his resolve on some level, she also couldn't bring herself to match it. Everything she'd been through, the horror of winning the Hunger Games and being forced into the spotlight, made her wary of a future with Gale. He represented the violence she wanted to leave behind, which became especially apparent when the Hunger Games. Mockingjay Part 2 insinuated that Katniss's sister Primrose, Willow Shields, was inadvertently killed by a firebomb, a device and strategy of Gale's design. He became everything that Katniss couldn't handle anymore as she sought peace in which to mourn and move on from violence and revenge. Peeta, on the other hand, understood how Katniss was feeling like few others could. He had experienced the same trauma. She could trust him with her feelings, could confide in him in a way she couldn't with those who merely saw her as the Mockingjay, a symbol of rebellion. Their connection deepened as a result. If Katniss wanted to find a way to move on from the pain she'd had to endure, she knew she would have to do so with someone like Peeta by her side, who understood her complicated emotions and grief. These feelings undoubtedly strengthened their bond, enough for them to end up together and build a life and family together. They love each other in their own way. There is something to be said for love that isn't constantly romantic, a love that exists because you are with a person who understands you like no other. That is the kind of love that Katniss and Peeta share, one that builds slowly until it's clear that there is no future for one without the other. Why Katniss does love Peeta when the Hunger Games end. Katniss does truly love Peeta. She even says so herself in the Hunger Games. Mockingjay Part 2 Epilogue. You love me? Real or not real? Peeta asks, and Katniss responds, real. Up until that point, she'd had a difficult time expressing her feelings without being made to feel like they were unimportant in the grand scheme of an uprising. Her admission that she loves Peeta in the epilogue is therefore likely to be true. It is a moment of peace in which she can proclaim how she truly feels. Theirs is a love that is born from trauma, from grief, from mutual comfort and understanding. That kind of love is solid and undeniable and can weave together with romantic love when they both want it and need it and feel it. It may not necessarily be romantic love always and forever, but the love between them will always be there, a lifeline for finding peace after everything Katniss has been through. The Hunger Games movies had a hard task in adapting the books written from Katniss's first-person point of view. Her inner feelings and conflicts were always laid bare for the reader, and this included her confusion over her feelings for Peeta and his role in her life. In the end, however, the Mockingjay book and the final The Hunger Games movie installment seem to agree. Katniss needs Peeta the same way he needs her.